Hi guys, so this video is for part B of the same question number 3, and the rest of the parts as well. So they've actually, so for income and expenditure account, basically you list all the incomes and then you list all the expenditures, and then you do incomes minus expenditures to find the club surplus or deficit. So what you're basically get in any one question, you should be able to identify how many incomes are there in this particular club. So over here I can just find one income, that is subscriptions. So normally there are total 4 incomes that can come in the income and expenditure account, basically as incomes. One is if the club has subscriptions, so subscription is there in every question, then they can have a cafe. So on a cafe there can be a profit. There is no cafe here. They can have a restaurant, cafe, bar, something of that sort, shop. And then they have events. So events can be like, for example, it can be a race, or it can be something like a musical night, or something like some concert, or some competition. That can be one income. And then there's the fourth option of an income, could be donations. So if the club receives donations from people, and then that can be an income. Other than that, normally you don't see any other income, apart that if, for example, the club disposes of a non-current asset and you get a profit on that, but that's very rare case. I haven't seen that in any of the questions in IGCSE, but here, so I have seen these 4 incomes normally in club questions, but see, now they have just one income in this question, that is subscriptions. So we have calculated subscriptions in the last part, that is the last part of this video, basically the same question, that is part A. So what I'll do here is that I will first list all the incomes. So I'll write incomes here, and I'll write subscriptions first, and I have calculated subscriptions from my subscription account, that is 6240, and that is the only income here. Then you write expenditures, so you write expenditures here, expenditures. And for expenditures, of course, you need to see the payments of the bank account as well, and you need to see if there is an opening, owing, or prepaid in any of the expense. So let's say, see, insurance has a paid in advance, opening and closing. So what you have to do here is that for expenses there is a rule, it's called POOP, and prepaid brought down, basically. So there's the brought down in advance and there is a carried down in advance. So what you'll do here is that you'll write brought down here, that is prepaid brought down 348. You'll write prepaid carried down here 366. This is my working, okay. And then what you have paid for insurance is 732. If that is coming on the credit side of the bank account, you write here on the debit side of the insurance account. Basically this is an insurance account here, and you write here bank. And then what you get here is income and expenditure. So I call it INE. This is just my working, so it can be, you can use short forms in working, but here INE basically turns out to be 714. That's it. So what I did was 348 plus 732 minus 366, you got 714. So what you'll do here is you'll write insurance, you'll write here 714. Then we have rent paid. So there is no opening or closing, owing or prepaid in rent. So you just write here rent, and this is going to be 2080. And then we have general expenses paid. So if there is no prepaid or owing, you don't need to adjust. That means what you have paid is exactly the amount that you have used up. So there's no owing or prepaid, so you'll just copy what you have paid here, 2498. So you write here general expenses, and you write here 2498. And then what you have here is you have irrecoverable debts. So we had irrecoverable debts of subscription of 208. And one more thing, it's very interesting that in this question there is no depreciation of non-current assets. If you guys look, there is no non-current asset here at start and at end. Normally in every question that I have solved for a club, there are non-current assets. So when there are non-current assets, you need to depreciate them. You need to write that depreciation as an expense in the expenditures, but depreciation is not here. So you just total all of this and you'll write here 5500, and then when you subtract, so basically you do 6240 minus 5500 and you get a surplus of 740, and you call this a surplus because surplus means excess of incomes over expenditures, deficit means excess of expenditures over incomes. So basically you're earning more than what you're incurring for your expenses. So that's it for this. Was pretty easy. Then we have this theory question, for which I'll discuss all the points. The treasurer is considering increasing the subscription amount in order to obtain sufficient funds to purchase computer equipment. So there's a non-current asset, what they are planning to purchase a non-current asset here, and the equipment would cost $400 and would be used to maintain the club records. So basically will improve the club's efficiency here. Advise the treasurer whether she should fund the purchase of computer equipment by increasing the subscription amount. Justify your answer by making points for and against increasing the subscription amount. Calculations are not required. So what here you can simply this will come into your mind that $52 is the per person subscription, annual subscription, and it hasn't been increased since a long time, because they've mentioned that it has remained unchanged. So the subscription amount has remained unchanged, so they can increase the subscription, because the argument for here is that yes, they can increase the subscription because the subscription amount has been unchanged for a very long time. So the members wouldn't be hesitant to pay the increased subscription. Also, there is one more thing, that the computer equipment has been purchased, so is going to be purchased. So if computer equipment is purchased, the club will run more efficiently, because of which obviously the service will improve. So the service for this club will improve. So that also encourages the members to pay. Service will improve of the club. Sorry for the bad handwriting. Then you have one more thing here, that that if there is a $400 computer equipment, in that case, and there are 120 members, so you guys all of the members will only have to pay a small amount. So there will be a small increase in each member's per year payment. So that's not going to be taken very negatively, and members would want to pay that for better efficient services of clubs of this particular club. But the arguments against this decision would be that there has been irrecoverable debts in subscriptions very recently, and the number of members has gone down from 2021 to 2022, which is alarming. If they increase the subscriptions, maybe the members wouldn't stay there, wouldn't stick with this club, go to some other club, or maybe they'll have to write off more as irrecoverable debts in future, because these people because the members will have to face the increased subscription cost. So maybe they have to write it off in future. So what you guys have to do is arguments for, arguments against, and then give a recommendation. So recommendation is your opinion, so that's not that can be for or against the argument in the question, so you don't have to worry about it. Then that's it for this theoretical question. Then we have part D. State the meaning of the following term. Receipts and payments account is a bank account summary of the club. So bank account summary, so basically you have all the receipts, like the money coming in, the money going out, and the receipts and payments account. Accumulated fund is another name for capital. So basically accumulated fund is created by adding all surpluses of all the years, adding all surpluses of all the years. And this basically creates a fund, and it says the club's capital. For normal business it's called capital, for the club it's called accumulated fund. So the thing with, if there is a deficit in a year particularly, then in that is subtracted from accumulated fund. But basically accumulated fund is created by adding all surpluses of the club over the years. So thank you so much guys, this was pretty easy and I think very scoring. So if you guys just do a few questions of clubs, I mean before your exam, there could be a specific topical practice that you can do. So maybe you can do 4-5 club questions and then you just get the hang of it, right? So you just that basically helps you remember the formats as well, and that's all logic. Honestly, accounting is more like logical, not very rote learning. So thank you so much guys, I hope this video helps you, and all the best for your exams.